Hey y'all, it's your girl Symone and welcome back to my channel. If y'all can see by the title, today is another Subbie Sunday, y'all. I've been missing so many Sundays and I'm sorry. And it's crazy because I was at home and this video is pre-recorded because I'm on vacation right now. But I had to come back. So before we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give your girl a thumbs up and comment down below because we're on the way to 150K. So, y'all sorry. Oh my god, I haven't did that in so long in a video. Anyway, let's get into it. Subbie Sunday. Your girl is back with them. I gotta get through these emails. Y'all, I'm almost to 500 emails. Sorry. Okay, so let me get into it. This video, I'm gonna tell what date, like when these stories was from. So this one is from August, and it is titled, I'm in love with my best friend's baby daddy. Let's see what's going on. So it says, hey girl, around, oh, she got straight into it. So it says, hey girl, around this time last year, one of your story times about Joe randomly popped up on my YouTube, and after that day, I've been binge watching your channel. I feel like I know you. Keep doing what you're doing. I love you so much, and I pray you receive nothing but blessings. Thank you so much, and I love you too. So it says, on to the story, because I'm stressed. I need advice. Ooh, I hope you still need this advice, sis. This about to be long as fuck, so I'm gonna apologize in advance. But I feel like you'll need all the backstory, so it makes more sense when I get to her baby daddy, LOL. It says, let's call my best friend Bubbles, because she has a bubbly personality. Bubbles and I met when she transferred to my high school sophomore year, and we've been like sisters ever since. We're both really stubborn though, and we used to fall out all the time. One time when we wasn't talking, I was dating this guy. Bubbles started working at the same job as my nigga, and she would always be like on his dick. I never said anything to her because we wasn't friends at that point. But she knew what she was doing. That nigga was cheating on me anyways, and I later went through his phone and found out that he was entertaining her too. Even when we were on bad terms, I still would have done anything for that girl. The two people I loved and trusted the most both betrayed me. That's a story for a different day though. Fast forward a few years later, I'm in college that's not very far from where I went to high school. She dropped out after her first semester of college and she ended up moving back to our hometown and working full time. We were both doing good for ourselves and somehow found our way back to be friends. I'm talking about full-fledged friendship like nothing ever happened. We was together every single day. People thought we were actually sisters and we just stopped correcting them after a while. Me and her really did/do look alike. We're both mixed with black and white, same shade of skin, both long curly hair. We have the same features, so naturally we attract a lot of the same guys. The issue is that we also have the same taste in guys. Ooh, I swear I'll be telling her about a nigga and she'll tell me that she used to mess with him or vice versa. This happens literally all the time. Usually it's someone we are both over and don't really care about, so it's not usually a big deal. But we both know when someone is off limits, and I've always respected that. Her, not so much. But as we got older, she got a little better. Hold on to that thought, because this is very important for later. Ooh, let's see. One night she called me drunk and I came to pick her up. On the way back to her apartment, she drunkenly admitted that she always was jealous of me and would do certain stuff just because she knew how I felt about my man, the one who she worked with, and wanted to hurt me. Me and him are still together. You know they be saying drunk people be telling the truth. They ain't never lied. She was spilling all the tea. I was so hurt. Me and him had moved past the situation. We was like 5 years into our relationship by this time. Me and him talked and I was over it after that. I never knew her side of the story though. I was hurt, but it was nice to get some closure, and I just left it in the past. Okay, that's like the early backstory from high school to early college. This next part is during college / right after I graduated college. Like I said earlier, Bubbles and I went to different colleges. While she was in college, she got really close to another girl. Let's call her Nails, because she be doing nails, LOL. So fast forward to a few years, we all kind of took a different path in life. I graduated with my bachelor's after 3 years and got a job working in my field. Congrats, sis. Meanwhile, Bubbles and Nails both dropped out of college. Nails got into cosmetology. Bubbles ended up moving to a different state, which was like a 15-hour drive from where we grew up. When she moved away, we kind of drifted apart a little. We both had a lot of shit going on, but what was understood didn't need to be explained. We wasn't the kind of friends that text and called each other every day like we used to, but there was no love lost and we were just still as close. One year, Bubbles flew back to our state to visit me. I was on her phone recording snaps for her story, telling people to add me, and all of a sudden, I saw a text message about me pop up on her phone from Nails. I was hot. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you, sis. After seeing that message, I clicked on it, went through Bubbles' phone. She was talking all kind of shit about me, but that's a story for a different day. Me and Bubbles ended up getting into it bad, and she went to stay with Nails for the rest of her trip. They got super close after this, and me and Bubbles didn't talk for almost a year. That's so crazy. Like, girl, why you gonna come visit me and be talking shit about me? During that time, Bubbles met a nigga in the state that she moved to. She seemed really happy. But one day, my spirit just didn't feel right. I don't know. I know I said we wasn't on good terms, but I'm not the kind of person who just make friends with a bunch of people. My loyalty runs deep, and when I get close to someone, I can't help but to always love them and look out for them, even when I know I shouldn't give a fuck about them. Same, sis, same. I had a feeling for a few weeks that something was wrong. I tried to ignore it, but I couldn't, so I reached out to Bubbles. She didn't even text me back. She just called me crying her eyes out. She was going through it, and like every possible thing that could have went wrong did. And her boyfriend, yeah, that nigga was an alcoholic and physically abusive. As you could probably guess, we became friends again after that. I gave her some money to help her get on her feet and even flew out to meet her for a while and met her abusive ass boyfriend. I had a good trip, but I let her know he gave me bad vibes. A few months later, after some stuff happened that I'm not gonna get into because it's not my story to tell, she ended up having to break her lease and move away and got a restraining order on her man. I was proud of her and she was finally starting to be happy again. During this time, Nels met someone and got pregnant. She asked Bubbles to be her baby's godmom, and Bubbles said yes. Nels' baby daddy also had a best friend who they asked to be the baby's goddad, and he said yes. Let's call the goddaddy dummy. This is where the story actually begins, and this part I need help with. I'm so sad and overwhelmed. Bubbles flew to my state for Nels' baby shower, and while she was there, she ended up having a one-night stand with Dummy, where she got pregnant. She called me crying the day she found out, and me and her went from being distant friends to talking every single day. I'm talking me and her were damn near in a relationship as close as we got. I obviously wanted to know who her baby daddy was, so she gave me Dummy's Snapchat. I added him and he added me back. Fast forward to the end of Bubbles' pregnancy, I fly out to her state to the baby shower. She told me I could stay with her. Dummy also came for the baby shower and he stayed with her that weekend too. A few people came over one night and we were all playing a drinking game. Bubbles and Nels was on the side of the couch while me and Dummy was on another side of the couch. After a while, Nels got sick and started throwing up. Her baby woke up, so while Nels was getting it together, Bubbles went to put the baby back to sleep since she was the only one not drinking. This left me and Dummy alone in the living room, both drunk as fuck. Her couch was like a mini sectional, so everyone was out there. We was kind of squeezed together, and me and Dummy was sitting so close our legs were touching. After it was just the two of us, we didn't move. We just sat close and talked. I don't really remember how long we were talking. It felt like hours, but it was probably only like 30 to 45 minutes. At this point in the conversation, me and him made eye contact and held it. Sis, I swear I fell in love at that moment. I don't know. Mind you, I only been drinking like once or twice a year, lol, so alcohol hits different for me. I don't know how to explain it. It was probably a combination of the alcohol and the deep conversation and how good he looked. But I wanted nothing more in that moment but to just kiss him. I knew he felt it too because we both ended up looking away and got awkward. He ended up going to the room with Bubbles and I slept on the couch and that was that. The next day when I was getting some clothes out of my suitcase, I did one of those excuse me's that niggas do when they are walking behind you and grab your waist while they're trying to get past. I looked at him when he did it and we made eye contact again, and girl, the vibes were just as strong. He smiled at me and kind of blushed, and I looked down at my suitcase and he left the room. Nothing else happened. We both avoided each other for the rest of the time we were there. I don't think anyone noticed. Nothing ever happened, so I never said anything to Bubbles. Mind you, they were never together. He got her pregnant from a drunk one-night stand. I think they were trying to make something work for the baby's sake, but they weren't compatible and always got into an argument about their relationship. Never went anywhere aside from them sleeping together and talking about the baby. Me and Bubbles kind of stopped talking after her baby shower. We went from talking every single day to like once a week. I was going through some personal shit and she was 9 months pregnant. We were both just dealing with life. Bubbles had her baby like a month and a half later. After her baby was born, we started talking even less. We went from talking once a week to like every 2 weeks. But like I mentioned earlier, throughout our 6-year friendship, it was normal for us to go through this phase of being super close and drifting apart. But there was never any love lost no matter what the phase we was in. Everything been cool until this week. I decided to take a leave from my job to focus on studying for this test I have to take. I could start graduate school next year. Because of this, I decided that my last week on my job, I was going to have fun and enjoy life before I buckled down and started focusing on this test. Me and one of my sneaky links made plans for him to come over after I got off work. So when I got home, I took a shower, put on a cute matching set, did my hair and makeup, and I was feeling myself, so I took some pictures and posted them on my story. My sneaky links come and he brings me a margarita. We get lit, we do what we do, and then he goes home. When he goes home, I check my phone and see a bunch of people had slid up on my story. One of those people was Dummy. I ignored everyone else's message and opened his first. At this point, I was over that brief spark we had when we first met in person. I hadn't talked to him since the baby shower, so I low-key just was curious to why he was texting me. He just slid up on my picture and told me my head was big, nothing major. We exchanged 2 or 3 messages and he asked me for my number. I gave it to him. He texted me his name and basically told me he was drunk. I told him I was too, and he goes without me. I didn't respond. This was a Tuesday. Friday was finally my last day of work before I started my studying, and I get invited to a kickback. I got cute, of course, and took some more pictures before I headed over to the kickback. When I got there's so many drinks. I was sipping on my little 3.2% of cigarette when I noticed and was like, nah, you are getting lit tonight. It didn't take much convincing, and after a few shots, we played a few games of cup pong. After the game ended, I sat down and checked my phone, and guess who slid up on my pictures from earlier? Dummy. He said something about me not texting him back the other day. I don't really remember what I said, but something along the lines of my bad, LOL. Then I stopped responding to his snap, and that's when he texted me. He kept saying different variations of, I really don't need to be talking to you while I'm lit because I'ma say too much and get myself in trouble. My heart was beating fast at this point because duh, I'm not stupid. I know this nigga was feeling me. He didn't know it, but the feelings were definitely mutual, and that was the problem. When he kept saying he needs to stop thinking of me when he's drunk because now he's texting me and he's going to get in trouble, I said something along the lines of, I'm not even going to ask for clarification because I don't need to be texting people when I'm drunk either. LOL, good night. At this point, I knew he was doing too much. I had a guilty conscience because although me and him never did anything, I knew I had feelings for him. Our conversations didn't really have any substance until he said that stuff. I knew if the roles were reversed and if Bubbles did text my baby daddy whenever I decided to have kids, I'd want to know. I have a baby and Bubbles is my sister. My loyalty is to her despite my own feelings. She met him first and he was off limits. I know this. Despite how I feel towards him, text her and asked if she was up. She didn't respond till hours later, but I was already asleep by then. When I woke up, I had a good morning text from him, and that's when I knew I had to tell her. I FaceTimed Bubbles and told her about him sliding up on my story, and I read her all of our text messages word from word. She was hurt. She said she wasn't mad at me because he was the one doing too much, not me. But she still felt the way, she still felt the way that I was even responding to him, to the point that we exchanged numbers. I apologized to her and she told me that it was okay. She had to go because she was about to call him. Not even a few minutes later, he texted me mad as fuck for telling her. I sent her a screenshot and asked her if I should respond. Like 10 minutes passed and she still didn't read my message, so I just decided to respond anyways. But by then, he had already blocked me. I texted her another apology and basically recapped the whole story that took place from when he slid up on Tuesday till Friday. I never told her I had feelings for him because I never acted on them, but my apology was genuine. I don't want to lose her. I'm so sad. Part of me wishes I would have just checked him myself without getting her involved, but another part of me feels like she deserved to know. The thing is, although I didn't entertain him, he was texting me and started saying stuff out of the way I wanted to so bad. Deep inside, those feelings I felt that night, me and him was drunk before the baby shower, they all came back. I don't know what it is about him, sis. I haven't felt this way in a while. I'm happy he blocked me because it takes away from the temptations, and now Bubbles could have a peace of mind. But at the same time, my feelings are so hurt because I feel like I ruined it with him. At the same time, at that, I feel guilty for feeling that way. Like, she was my best friend. We basically family at this point. I tried so hard to stay away and not think about him, but these past few days, he's all I could think about. I've played it cool. I doubt he knows I have feelings for him, and I never even hinted to her that I do. No one knows but me. I know that I could never be with him. They have a baby together. He's forever off limits, and I know that. I really do. So freaking sad about it. My heart hurts, LOL. I'm not even exaggerating. I've been in bed depressed like I went through a bad breakup. Knowing that I can't have someone that I want so desperately bad is heartbreaking. I wish I would have met him first. Life would have been so much simpler that way. I feel like I'm missing out on something that was meant to be. I done made him hate me, and I will never find out. But yeah, that's the story, girl. I'm in my feelings. I needed to get this off my chest. I'm stuck because although I love my friend, I can't help how I feel about her baby daddy. Part of me wishes I was selfish and just could go for it, but I don't even have that in me to do her like that. I'm too old to have this many butterflies over a man I just met a few months ago. I know y'all probably judging me, but yeah, it is what it is. Any advice is appreciated. Sis, oh my God, that story is crazy. I just want to say, and I know it's probably gonna be some people that don't agree with me. I want to say you did the right thing by telling her. Honestly, you, like, some people might say that you're a bad friend, but to me, in my eyes, you're not. I don't think you're a bad friend because you had those feelings. That's something you couldn't control, but you didn't act on those feelings. And you basically just, you told her what it is, and you even though he blocked you. I mean, if you know, we know if you want to get in contact with somebody, it's not hard to get in contact with them, but you still basically is saying, forget it, like, I'm not going to do it. And I'm so happy for you, sis. I know it probably felt like that would have been the best situation ever, but I promise you, he probably was really just on BS. Like, to say that y'all looked alike and all this other stuff, he probably just had like a fetish or a fantasy. Like, he probably really was on bullshit. So it's so good that you didn't act on those feelings, because it probably would have went way worse. Like, he probably would have been on some weird stuff, on some back and forth stuff, and then y'all friendship, you know, and that friendship is way more important. Even though you guys don't talk as much as y'all used to, you just never know what the future might hold with you and her. And it's like, this guy could just be like a total weirdo, because honestly, for him to just block you, and like, I don't know, he just gives that he was on some weird shit from the jump. Like, he just seemed like he was a weirdo. But I'm happy that you were a good friend, because that's rare as hell. Some people would have just took that to the grave with them, but you was a good friend and you actually told her everything. And Bubbles clearly know that you're a good friend as well. That's why she's still cool with you, and that's why she wasn't mad at you, because she knows, damn, like, a friend is not gonna tell somebody that. They really would have kept that to the grave. Not a friend, but you are a good friend, because it's like, a lot of people wouldn't have told people that. They would have kept it to the grave, took it to the grave, and then still did whatever they want to do every now and then. Like, you know what, fuck it, she ain't never gotta find out, she don't even live here, you know. But you told her, so that was the good thing, sis. I hope you get over that feeling, because I know sometimes when you feel like somebody is meant to be, it could hurt so bad, because it's like, damn, I just want to know, like, what if, but I can't go that way. And it is difficult. I've been in a situation where it wasn't like somebody that I know that dated, it just was somebody I met on bad timing, and it hurt, because it was like, damn, I want to be with you, but the timing is so horrible with the both of us. So it was like, ugh. So I know exactly how you feel when it comes down to that, like, not being able to have somebody you want. But you went about it in a good way, sis, and I hope you get better. I hope you find your Prince Charming and the person that give you them butterflies and that spark, and everything is just perfect. I hope you find that one, sis. And thank you so much for sharing, you guys. So I got the next story up, and this one I pulled up because of the title, because your girl is finna be I'm probably about to be in Miami for like a day. One of these days I'm gonna be in Miami for like a few hours. So what's going on? So it made me want to read this story. So the title is, he got me high, did me, took my money, and left me on South Beach. Sis, what in the beep is going on? Let's read it. Hey Symone, I love your channel and the way you interact with us. Thank you. I love y'all so much. We are really family here. I really love y'all, no, for real. I really do. Y'all really my people. That's why I be so happy. That's why I always say, like, if y'all see me in person, come up to me. I might be a little awkward, but just speak to me, y'all. Bring that shyness out of me, because I be so happy. Like, I really tell my mom, like, I ran into somebody today. But anyway, it says, keep going and motivating us the way you do. I like to remain anonymous for this story time, because I don't want to get caught up, but next time I don't mind if you say my name. Sorry if it's long, but it's worth it. Okay, sis, I got you. Staying anonymous. Got you, sis. Got you. Okay. So it says, so this guy I used to date, just a little backstory, he was a very manipulative liar. He reminds me of Crazy. Ooh. I thought he was gonna be my husband though. You know, he's that one guy I was very stupid for and head over heels in love with. Anyway, after we broke up, he would always contact me periodically to hang out, aka and try to fuck me. But he knows I'm not the type to just hang out, so he have to take me out to eat or catch a good vibe with me. So he was good at using those type of things to get me to go out with him. So one day he hits me up and saying he wants to hang out with me at this lit Airbnb he found. He was going to bring his hookah and his bottle for us to share. He also promised to try not to fuck me. His money was never consistent because he's a scammer. I don't even know if he had an official bank account. He asked me to cash app him $300 so he could book the Airbnb with a card, and he'll give it back to me in cash when I get there. Mind you, even though we weren't together, I was still in love. I knew he wasn't good for me, but just being around him made me happy. So I sent the money. When it was time to meet with him, I started calling his phone and he wouldn't answer. The rest of the day he did not answer, and I did not hear from him until it was the next day. He apologized and he said he went to his ex house to pick something up. He took his keys and hid them so he couldn't leave. I knew this was bullshit, but he was just so good at manipulating me, which he did yet again. So we made plans to head out to the Airbnb this day instead. So I head out to South Beach. We get the keys and we go to the spot. It's not as lit as he explained. There's no hookah, no liquor, no food, just him and I at this point. So I said, fuck it. Smoked with him and ended up high as hell. This is the first time that we hung out, and he didn't really try to have a conversation with me. He seemed to be in a rush, but puts on music, starts flirting with me and shit. Smiling at me because he know he had me wrapped around his fingers, and we began being intimate. We go into the room and start having sex. I noticed I wasn't feeling the love like I usually do. Anyway, we finish and he goes on the couch and calls me for round 2. I'm riding him and I just so happens to look at him. The ice was rolling to the back of his head like my pee was a drug. After we finish, he starts getting dressed and getting his things together like he's about to leave. I'm like, well, hey, what about my $300 I sent you? He goes, oh, I have to withdraw it. Follow me to the bank. So we go downstairs. The valet bring his car first. He hops in and I'm standing outside by his window talking to him, waiting on my car. They bring me my car while I'm getting it, he takes off. I should have just stayed by the B&B and rested for a bit, but I wanted my money. Anyway, I lost him. He took the fuck off and wouldn't answer the phone the rest of the night. Thank God I made it home safe very slowly. I'm about 40 minutes away from South Beach. Later, when I checked his IG story on my Finsta account, he took his ex out to eat right after he left me and got her flowers. I'm almost positive he used my money towards that, because that Airbnb was not no damn $300. I'm over and don't feel bad for me. Thank you for sharing. Sis, no, these men really be doing some fucked up shit, because it's like, bro, and he was a scammer too, so he probably got that Airbnb on some other shit and just really took your money and spent it on her. Wow. It's like, you, what? And then especially like how you said you was in love with him still. It's like, I'm pretty sure he could have probably asked to borrow something instead. It's like, dang, you had to fuck me and fuck me. Like, dang, like you got it in and then fuck me over too. Like, what? These ain't shit. Well, I'm happy that you done with him, sis, because he sounds like a total mess. And I'm so mad that I'm just now seeing this, because you did tell me that you was gonna send me a story, and I'm mad as hell that I'm just now seeing this. Y'all, let me tell y'all, because I said I'm about to tell y'all when it's from. This one's from June. Y'all, I'm so late. I'm sorry, but thank you so much for sharing, sis. Yes, I can't wait to hear the next stories that you got, because you be living your best life and I be loving that for you, sis. I love it for you. So let me go ahead and get into the next story. Okay, you guys, so this one is from January. I'm almost done with my January. So it says, I'm sorry this story is long, but it's worth it, I promise. And this one is titled My Hood Love Story. So okay, so it says, okay, so boom, just call me Nye. I'm from Philly and I still have family down there and would come back and forth to visit sometimes. I would meet people out there, so you know I had a couple of people there. So one day, it was Friday, and me and my friends wanted to go shopping and go out and chill. Let's not forget to mention I was 15 at the time. Like one day we should go to Philly, and my friend's boyfriend was like, we should. So we was like, yeah, we should go. But it was late, so we was like, we could leave in the morning, and we did. So we went and got on the road. It's my friend T-shirt and my friend Brownie, and they man's in the car. But on our way there, I was texting my friend telling him I'm gonna be up there. I was texting my friend telling him I'm gonna be up there. We gonna call him Smile, because that nigga always got me with that fucking smile. Oh, let me have y'all a little view. He's light skinned with tattoos on his chest and a couple of both of his arms. And waves, but y'all know how Puerto Ricans have fades and waves, yeah, just like that. So eventually we get there and I got to Smile House and they dropped me off. So when we got there, my friends left and headed to Franklin Mills Mall. Y'all, when I tell y'all I had no business with this man, I didn't. He was a whole 19 years old anyways, child. So I hung on him, kissed him, and all of that shit. So I seen his face marked up and was like, what the fuck, and who did this to you? And he's just like, some niggas. It's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. He knows how much I worry about him. So I'm tripping and he's like, Ma, don't worry, I'm cool. And I'm just like, nah, you gotta be careful. I'm still going and going. So he picks me up and go in the house, in the room, lays me down on that bed. Start eating like he ain't ate in a month, bitch. I shut the fuck up then. I'm sorry about the facial expressions. Anyway, let me finish the story. So we go to the mall. The first mall I said we were all going to link up at. Walk in and there's this nigga staring. So I'm like, Smile, who the fuck is staring? And he look and like, nope. And he look and he's like, nobody. Let's go. And I'm like, what the fuck? But I let it go. So I go to the dress store and the same nigga comes in and he's like staring and eventually comes to me and is like, what? And was like, hey, what's up, ma? And I'm like, what's up? And I'm like, what's up? No, Smile, because I know my nigga. And he like, so where you finna be at after this? Talking all that shit. And so he like, where you finna be after this? Talking all that shit. And here comes Smile. I'm like, shit. And he say, let's go. And I'm like, I'm not down. And he looked at me and I was like, okay. So we leave and go to King of Persia. Wait, who did you leave with? Did you leave with Smile or that other man? And we looking at shit. And we was... Oh, okay. She was left with Smile, y'all. Because I was so confused. Okay. And we looking at shit and we start seeing the same nigga. And he was staring. So Smile get up and say, I'm going to be right back. I said, Smile, no, stop. And he walk over to him. And he was like, yo, what's up? And they both start talking that shit. And clearly it's something I don't know. So I go over there and I say, babe, let's go, stop. So we leave and we So we leave and did some stuff though. Now save that. So it's about like 5:30 to 6 and my mom ended up calling me. I pick up and I say we was just at the mall. She hear a nigga voice, I think before I hung up. So 30 minutes later she called again. I'm sorry. 30 minutes later she called again. Now at this time me and Smile at this time me and Smile and everyone at Smile's house. We watching movies, cuddled up, and I think was planning on spending the night. So I ignored her call. She was blowing my shit up. So I answered and I say I was in the bathroom. She said, get your ass here in 30 minutes. Bitch, Philly from where I lived was like 2.5 hours away. Say okay, put my phone on silent and just said fuck it, I'm already in trouble. Now back to the other thing. So we all get hungry as fuck. My friends said they want a cheesecake from this place. I said art, we could go get it, and Smile said nah, stay here. Smile said nah, stay here. So they leave and we just cuddling up and get to know you know. But we hear some shit outside and he says, stay in here, bitch, get ready. Wait, did he tell you stay in here, bitch, get ready? Or are you telling me? Okay, let me finish the story, sir. Maybe about a couple of seconds later, he's come back in and he says, stay here, and gets his Glock. I say, babe, no, stay here, please. He's like, nah, stay here and lock the door. I got you. I said, nah, I don't want nothing to happen to you, please. And he cups my face and kisses me and says, I love you. I'ma always love you. And I'm coming back, and gives me his chain. So I'm like, nah, fuck this. I call my friends and they just around the corner. I'm like, yo, some shit about to blow. Come back. So they come back and they tell my friends the girls stay in with me and the boyfriends and Smile out there, and we hear shooting. I'm like, oh my God, I hope nothing happens. They come in and they like, fuck, all blood all on them. I'm like, what happened? Where's Smile? And they like, nah, bitch, I ran. They trying to hold me in the house, and some of Smile's niggas was like, nah, stop. So I went outside and Smile was all on the ground, shot, and start screaming and run to him. He looking at me and blood coming out of his mouth, and I'm like, what the fuck, yo? Help him. And he stops moving. I'm like, yo, no, I'm screaming. Come on now, you gotta go. You gotta get away from here. All of y'all gotta go. And we did. I'm shaking. It turns out it was that nigga at the mall who shot him, and eventually his friends hit me up and said Smile told me to. And eventually his friends hit me up and said, Smile told me to always see if you cool and take care of you. And I couldn't believe I lost my love, yo. Anyways, then I got home after getting cleaned up at my friend's house and got yelled at and my ass beat. She thought I was crying from hurt, but I just had my nigga low-key die in front of my face. Wow, that's so sad. Sis, I hope that you're doing okay, y'all. Let's send our prayers to her. Nah, we sending you our prayers. Oh my God, that's so sad. I couldn't imagine. Like, I could not imagine. Like, I have people that was close to me pass away, but not somebody that right then and there that I'm actually dealing with, and then I was just with you seconds ago. Like, oh my God, that's so sad. That's so sad. But thank you so much for sharing your story. I know it's probably hard to share, especially something like that that's so traumatic. But like I said, we're praying for you, sis, and we hope that everything is okay for you mentally, because I know that's something that would really scar somebody. Like, just to have somebody right there with you and then it goes left. Like, that's so fucked up. Alright, you guys, but that is it for Subbie Sunday. I did 3 stories. I was gonna do 4, but I had some long stories, y'all, and then plus I gotta edit and I gotta take my hair out and wash it and do another video because I'm pre-recording because I leave tomorrow. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you like to go ahead and participate, make sure you send your email to the email down below. And like I said, y'all, I know, but I'm getting through them. Y'all see, I'm getting through them. So yeah, make sure you send your story. Make sure that title is juicy, y'all. Juicy titles, because I was going to order it first, but now I just be going through and like, yeah, so make sure that title is juicy. Thank you guys for sharing. Again, don't send it to my other email. Don't send it to a business email. Send it to Symonestorytimes@yahoo.com. If you send it anywhere else, it will not get open. It will just get deleted. I don't care how good the title is in my business email. It don't belong there. Because I swear, I was getting a lot like last week. I got so many and the titles look so good. But like I said, no, don't send them there. Because it's just, no, don't do that. But yeah, make sure you send them here. Thank you guys so much for participating. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.